Coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking Alabama's Junior Day that they're getting ready for on Saturday. Now, Alabama will host their first Junior Day here coming up tomorrow on Saturday. And this is an invite-only kind of event for select juniors and sophomores out there. Of course, you want to kind of get ahead on that 2027 class a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to be discussing those 2026 guys on today's video, and this is really a chance, really, just for some of those recruits to get acclimated, with Alabama football. That could be the training staff, campus, the coaching staff as well. They'll hang out with some of the current players. And then they'll end up breaking into different position groups and things like that, run through some different drills, and it just gives the staff a chance to evaluate some of those players. Because some of these players on this list aren't necessarily some of those big-name players that, we've been discussing here for the past couple of weeks on the channel here. And I will also make note that this list could change a little bit. There could be somebody last minute that ends up showing up, or there could be somebody last minute that is expected to be on this list that might not end up, showing up for Junior Day. So, how recruiting is. It's very fluid. A lot of things can change, but that's going to be the show for today's video. But first up, if you guys enjoy these recruiting updates that we do here at the Alabama Football Report, show it by liking today's video for me right now. The more likes we get, the more chance there is possibly a commitment that we will see this weekend. So help me out, like today's video for me right now. All right, first up, we're going to kind of break these down into different position groups. Tristen Keys is the first guy here. He is the number 2 wide receiver. We are using, by the way, the 247 Sports composite rankings here. So depending on what site you see, or even on 247, they might have him as the number 1 receiver, but the composite has him as the number 2 wide receiver here. He is a 5-star player, number 7 player overall from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You also have Cederian Morgan, Brandon Arrington, and Xavier McDonald as well. Now, one thing I do want to, kind of say, this coaching staff really is about going after some of these top wide receivers in the class. They definitely went after some of the top guys last year. Sure, they did miss on a couple of guys, especially you think about a guy like Caleb Cunningham, who was committed to you for some time, but I do think NIL might have played a little bit of a factor there with Caleb Cunningham end up flipping to Ole Miss because, look, Coach Shep is a really good recruiter at the end of the day, and looking at the wide receiver depth chart that you have right now, I do think there's some guys like Jeremy Bernard that you might end up losing next year to the NFL draft. You look at a guy like Isaiah Horton that you got from Miami out of the transfer portal. He's a redshirt junior, so kind of depending on the season that he, could have this season, there's a chance he also goes off to the NFL draft. And you also kind of got to think ahead a little bit to an extent about the transfer portal. I think you like the guys that you have, but definitely probably going to go after at least 3 wide receivers in this 2025 recruiting cycle. Next up, we're going to talk about the running backs here. You got Jonathan Hatton in this 2026 class. He's the number 3 running back in this class. And then you also have Xavier Crowell, who was originally in that 2027 class, was originally the number 1 running back in that class, but he ended up reclassifying to that 2027 class. And he also has multiple summer visits lined up as well. He'll be visiting Georgia, Texas, Auburn, and then Alabama will get the final visit during the summertime for him on June 20th through the 22nd. And I also want to make note as well, I think we got to give a lot of credit here to guys like Robert Gillespie on this coaching staff, your running backs coach. He's done a really great job recruiting at that running back position, and I think going into this 2025 recruiting class, it's going to be the same. He's going to go after some of those top recruits. Hopefully, Alabama can get some of those top recruits, at that running back position anyways in this 2025 class. So let me know here at the pin comment of today's video, who is your must-get recruit in this 2026 recruiting cycle? There's a lot of names out there. We'll get to one of my names here in just a little bit, but let me know what you guys think at the pin comment of today's video, especially if that ad comes here on YouTube. Next up, we're going to talk about the offensive line here. First guy, Ikian Ugboko, I believe is how you pronounce his name there. I think that's the best probably I could have done at the end of the day. You guys know how I am, just absolutely terrible butchering names and whatnot. And I will say, when it comes to, these offensive linemen, anyways, look, they're not going to offer a ton of guys in this class. It's going to kind of be like last season. They're going to offer guys that they like. And I think when you're talking about junior day, you're gonna get guys at junior day that they may offer, they may not offer. I think they offered, Grant Weiss the other day. I think he's a guy that they like in this class, but they're definitely going after some other guys as well along the offensive line who are not going to be attending junior day here. You got Lamar Brown. He's the number 1 interior offensive lineman who is not going to be at junior day. Darius Gray, they've offered him. He's the number 3 interior offensive lineman. And then, of course, you're also going after the number 1 player in this 2026 recruiting class in Jackson Cantwell out of California. He's the number 1 offensive tackle in this class right now. This is just a good chance to kind of, run these guys through some drills and kind of see how they move and, evaluate them, because they are, some of them, a guy like Bear, McWhorter there, he's not necessarily the highest ranked guy, but I do think they like the potential for these guys. I think running them through some drills, and just seeing how they move and just evaluating them is kind of what this coaching staff is kind of looking at doing for guys like that. We'll continue with the defensive side of the ball here in just a second, but today's show is presented by Game Time. You guys can get tickets to the big game now by using Game Time. Super simple by using Game Time. I know that the big game could be, pretty expensive, but you can use the new feature on Game Time called the Game Time Picks feature. It just makes getting tickets to see live events even easier. It also just filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Whether that's concerts, comedy, theater, or sporting events as well, Game Time has it all for you guys. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time also, has the views from your seat as well. You guys can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets, so you know exactly what your, seat view is going to look like. They also have the lowest prices guaranteed. If you guys find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time will actually credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off. That link's in the comment section and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. They have last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, all guaranteed. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about the edge rushers here / linebackers as well, just because there was only one true linebacker there in Sincere Johnson, so I went ahead and threw him on this list as well. My must-get player in this class is Anthony Jones. He's the top player in the 2025 recruiting class in the state of Alabama. Also, I believe 247 Sports, they're just doing the top 10 right now in terms of those 5-star players, so when it's all said and done, Anthony Jones is going to end up being a 5-star play for you. And look, just because somebody, is listed as an edge rusher, I do think this is important considering, some of these guys that this coaching staff has been offering. Just because they're listed as an edge rusher does not necessarily mean some of them can't kick inside to play that defensive tackle spot or that bandit spot as well, just kind of depending on the size, because a lot of these guys in high school, they might be about 260, 270 pounds, and it's a whole lot easier to put weight on than it is necessarily to take weight off. And I think that is perfect with these guys right here on the defensive line. That is also going to be showing up here on Junior Day. Kamarian Johnson and Emmanuel Ruffin as well is going to be attending Junior Day here. Both of these guys currently unranked on the 247 Sports composite rankings, but you see their weight right there. I think Emmanuel Ruffin is legit a, defensive tackle, but Kamarian Johnson, the way he's been played in high school is kind of, they put him outside, they put him inside, just kind of depending on where they want to play him at certain times. He is definitely a guy, I think, that could definitely, get into a college weight room. They could put some more weight on him, and I definitely think Kamarian Johnson is a guy that they can kick into that defensive tackle spot if they choose to. So let me know here in the comment section, do you guys think Alabama will get any commitments this weekend? There's a chance, you never know, especially some of those guys that are, unranked. Alabama, offers them. They fall in love with the campus, fall in love with the training staff, coaches, players, everything like that. So there is always a chance that Alabama could get some commitments here on Junior Day. Let me know what you guys think of the comments section. Type Y for yes or N for no. Last position group we're going to talk about here is the secondary coming in here for Alabama. You got Jordan Edmonds, Zyan Gibson. He is currently Alabama's only commitment right now in that 2026 recruiting class. Like I said, I think there's a chance that you could get more. And, they're also targeting multiple safeties here on Junior Day as well. Darrell Bell III as well. He is currently committed to Florida State, but, ended up choosing Alabama to attend, on Junior Day here. And remember, there's more guys that they're going after just because some of those top players aren't necessarily on this list does not mean that they are not going after him. And look, there's a lot of guys that, are top of the line players, especially in the secondary, that Alabama has already offered. So like I said earlier, this is really just a chance for them to see these guys in action, run through some drills, and who knows, maybe offer, another guy or two. Last player we're going to talk about here, the only player right now in the 2027 class that'll be visiting for Junior Day is Jabarius Grohr. I really like this kid as well. He really puts, flashes when you're watching his huddle film anyways. Currently right now he is a 4-star recruit, number 8 edge in that 2027 class, number 35 overall, and currently already getting ahead on some of those top players out of the state of Alabama in that 2027 class, as he sits right there at number 2. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We got news, rumors, recruiting updates for you guys, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button for me right now.